Hey guys, welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. In this video, I'd like to highlight a French brand that I have yet to feature here in a video. This is the Charlie Paris Concordia Automatic Nazare. This retails for $815. And I think most watch enthusiasts will recognize this model as being the watch that was worn by Matthew Tourneau for the duration of his 51-day successful bid to be the first solo adventurist to ski to the South Pole, meaning that he went to the shore in Antarctica and he toted everything, he carried everything he needed on skis, and he skied to the center of the continent, to the bottom of our planet, and he reached the South Pole with a Concordia strapped to his wrist. And so this one, yeah, it does have that tie-in, but it's also tied in to another adventurist, and this is related to this specific colorway, the Nazare Blue Fume color application. This color, this limited edition, was made for the professional surfer Thomas Traversa, who wore one as he surfed the largest waves on the planet that are off of Portugal. And if you look at the case back here, you guys can see a unique medallion that highlights that area of the globe where these massive waves are found. And I don't know if you guys have seen those videos, but they are terrifying and enthralling. Those waves almost don't look real. And you can just see these tiny little people, in comparison to the waves, riding the wave, surfing the wave. And so this specific watch, this colorway, this 100-piece limited edition, ties into Thomas Traversa and also Matthew Tourneau, which is pretty cool. Now, the watch is made in France. It is, shipped from France, although you don't see made in France on the dial, which could be a bit of a missed opportunity in the eyes of some that really take pride in the production of horological-related items in France. Again, this is a 100-piece limited edition, and if you look at the medallion on the case back, just outside of that, you guys can see made in France. And this is not a large watch. It's not too tall. It's the right size. It comes in at 40.1 millimeters of diameter and 12.4 in overall height. And that's impressive, not just because, it's thin and that lends a level of elegance and comfort on wrist, but this has 300 meters of water resistance, a screw-down crown, and the movement within is covered by a soft iron Faraday shield. And so you get all of that tech packed in at a compact dimension, and I think that's really refreshing as a watch enthusiast. So this watch will be compliant with ISO 764 specifications for being anti-magnetic. Now we have a 3mm thick domed sapphire crystal with inner anti-reflective treatment. And I have to mention that treatment it's really satisfying. You get that clarity. You can see the details on that blue fume dial. You can see the substantive applied markers, the crisp printing, the beveled hands, the white index track running around the circumference of the dial. And you notice it to a nice degree of clarity. And you also get that lovely iridescent blue sheen off of harsh light, off of direct reflections. And I've got to say, it's really satisfying. Charlie has done a great job with the anti-reflective treatment. Now, going back to the dimensions, we have 47.4 millimeters in overall lug-to-lug dimension with a 20 millimeter lug width. So I think it's proportional. I think this will fit on most wrist sizes, and it has nice finish work. It kind of looks retro with the polished beveled edges and the brushing on the tops of the lugs and the sides of the case, in conjunction with that rather narrow bezel insert with the coin edging. It makes the dial feel a little bit more dominant, and I don't know, I think it looks versatile. I think it looks sharp. I think it looks legible. And in low light, it is very satisfying with that BGW9 application from Superluminova. It has the cyan tone, and I will note that the markers, the hour markers, they actually have longer longevity, if that makes sense, in comparison to the hands, because the lume is deeper filled than it is on the beveled hands. Now, you're not going to really notice a difference, until time goes by, but overall, the low light lume is very satisfying. It's very well done. And the tactile elements are also satisfying. So let me show you the bezel action here. We have a 120 click unidirectional action, And I will say it's not best in class or class leading, but it's not disappointing. There is no backplay. And I think overall the mechanical feel, the grip, the torque, it's appropriate for the price. And I have no complaints with that. Now let's talk about the movement. Within the Faraday shield, within this case, we have the STP-1-11 caliber, which a lot of you will recognize as being owned and operated by the Fossil Group. And this specific 1-11 caliber is based off of the ETA 2824-2. Now this will have 26 joules, a 28,800 beat per hour rate, and a slightly longer power reserve than a comparable 2824 from ETA at 44 hours as opposed to 38 hours of power reserve. Now this specific movement is regulated and it will be accurate to an acceptable daily deviation window of 0 to plus 15 seconds per day, which I like. You know, it's not chronometer levels of accuracy, but it's not going to be slow. It's frustrating, or it can be frustrating as a watch enthusiast to have a slightly slow watch, because when you sync to the atomic time, it's always easiest just to hack the balance, wait a few seconds, and then pop the crown back in and continue with your business. You're going to be able to do that here with this STP-1-11. So let's recap this watch. I'll talk about the things I like, and then we'll talk about the areas for improvement, and then I'll announce the giveaway of this Concordia Automatic Nazare Edition. Now, the things I like that thin profile. I like the movement shield here, the Faraday shield. I like those deep applied markers. That's something that's pretty uncommon, sub $1,000. And overall, this carries versatile design language. And overall, it's comfortable. It disappears on wrist, and I think looks sharp. Now, the areas I'd like to see improved, I think if you think about the toolish nature of the design, with this being worn to the South Pole and being worn by a surfer that's surfing the largest waves off of the planet, for the bezel insert material, I think it would have been more appropriate to see a hardened stainless steel or perhaps ceramic or tungsten, just to enhance, you know, that toolish nature, that sporty nature of the almost retro design. So that's something I would have liked to see. And then the only other thing is I recognize the STP movement has a longer power reserve and it still is dialed in with that acceptable deviation window. But I always prefer ETA. And if I can't get ETA, I prefer Solida if I'm going to be spending right around $800. I believe the movement within the Concordia that went to the South Pole carried an ETA movement. So other than that, I mean, I hope you guys can see the detail work. I hope you can see the quality here. I hope I've done an appropriate job of portraying the watch here, the details, the good, and the areas for improvement. Let me know if you have any specific questions. I'd be more than happy to try to answer those. Please place those in the comment section. I'll place a link to Charlie's website, Charlie Paris, where you can look at other versions of the Concordia or other models that they offer. And if you're interested in the giveaway, I do a giveaway once a month. Last month, it was a Squale Sabino 3920. This month, it's this exact Nazare that I featured here in this video. Anytime I'm gifted a watch from a brand in exchange for a presentation, I pass that kindness forward to those of you that support me on Patreon. My Patreon's only $6 a month. You have access to the monthly giveaways, and you have access to the Discord server where you can interact with me and the other members of the server. There's a little sales forum. There's different channels within the server. It's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in winning this, I'm going to do the giveaway in about a week from now. All you have to do, again, is support me on Patreon. So guys, thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.